This is another U807 Tech video. This 807 crashed in a mud puddle a little over a week ago. So we've taken it apart, rinsed everything in the sink, board, motors, everything, because it was a muddy mud puddle. Now we have everything laid out. And these black foams are these protectors that they put on the sticks when you get a new quad, and I've cut them in half to use as pads for these propellers. I don't like it scooting around and scratching on the table. So I take a little bit of masking tape and roll it up into a sticky flat square and stick it on the foam. Try to stick it close to the middle of the propeller. It doesn't have to be exact. Now this is the back of the quad. I'm flipping it over. Now those foams keep us from dragging around and too much sliding and stuff. Our JST connector goes through the frame to come out here at the front. And that's what we'll do first. I was going to show the original 807 motor compared to the 636 motor. 636 has the metal gear, 807 has the plastic or nylon, whatever it is. You'll notice the nylon gear is much further down on the shaft than the metal gear, but it doesn't make any difference. It still meshes well with the gear on the quadcopter. So we'll take that one out of the picture and take this, stick these motors together, put that right through the center. Oh, yeah, it's on the center of the board right here, so I'm going to put it through the center of the quadcopter. There's no screws holding the board in. These O-rings, once the things put together, hold it together, or hold it tight. So we'll center the O-rings up. We have little channels that they ride in. Now we want I'm going to lift it up where it can mesh with the gear. We want the wires to be aiming fairly straight. You don't want them to be on the other side of the motor. Gears are meshed. Gears are meshed. Gears are meshed. Gears are meshed. Now, you don't, so far, ever get a grinding. I can hear a gear sound, but none of that stopping and clicking and popping. And those who have seen me fly it in my video through the house, I've crashed it into the wall and crashed it into the lamp and have not caused myself any problem yet, so no gear clicking. Now we'll take these wires and put them in these little slots. Now get the wire up against the motor best you can, pretty close to it. That way there won't be any binding with the LED cover. Now I've pushed that down in there. Don't push it real hard, even though this is plastic. It might still damage the wire if you push it too hard. Now once it's in the first slot, straighten this wire out and get it going in the right direction. Don't pull too hard on it, because you want the excess wire to be up in here. So as we go, we'll bend this wire so it will stay kind of going in the right direction. Get it into the next slot. Take it to the next one. It's a little tricky to Get it lined up because it's a tiny little wire. Next one. And the last one. There, that wire is routed. We'll push it down a little bit right there. Okay, now we have our wires routed. We'll put the LED covers on. We'll start with the back ones, which are red. And there's our blinking green LED. So we know this is the back, and our battery plugs at the front. Have these little hooks on the end of them. Have these little pegs that pop into these holes. And then there's a screw hole. So the hook comes through here, like so. And then we push it in. And we see the peg doesn't line up with the hole, but that's what makes it fit tight. And it makes it snap in. And then our arm sits right up against the O-ring battery tray. And there's our JST connector. So we need the battery stop, the two prongs here, to be away from the JST connector. It looks like we got a screw already in there, so we have 11 screws. So one of them came somewhere else. I don't know if you can see it, but there's rust in the screw from landing in the mud puddle. Another way to tell the back is the slot for the LED. So these have channels that line up on the LEDs. Pop the back two on first. They don't actually pop, they fit in with like pressure, like a interference fit. Now before I start putting screws in, magnetize my screwdriver, one direction only. Maybe 10 or 15 times. First, not too tight, but pretty tight. We can pick up our screws with the magnetized screwdriver. I'll put it back here. Now the arms. Trying to pick one up. My fingers are so little that they're hard to pick up. That's why I magnetize the screwdriver. And canopy. Don't tighten them up all the way till you get them all in. Nope, not that one. Okay, everything's tight. Take our little pads off. Now I've blacked out these things here with the magic marker so I can identify this one from the other one. And use one of these long wired batteries. Stick that right in there. Has the tape on it to keep it and make it tight. Now, we'll hope for the best. Success. Okay. And they slide right in there. Once again, they're narrower too. You can see the stops, line them up with stops, and it's centered. It's got a little bit longer connector on it, so it's pretty easy to put that one in. Last but not least, the 1200 milliamp Helimax 30C. This is the one that went in the mud puddle. Let's test it. Now it's a little tighter, but not too bad. It slides in. Just slide it to the stops. Now you see how far it sticks out? Quite a ways, which someone claimed that I'd have to trim it. I'll put that to the test. That seems to be working. It survived the mud puddle. Of course, it was sticking out of the mud puddle. If you're going to do a hands-off hover, don't hit the, or don't bump the throttle when you're taking your hands off. Let's try the high rate wobble. I'll show you crazy. Put a 1200 in your omnibus and make a video. Whoever claims that it's better than this one. Put her down. Okay, thanks for watching.